Greetings, family. This is Mr. D. Measy, and it is an honor, privilege, and pleasure to be able to speak here today and give a brief history of Kwanzaa in the city of Jackson, Mississippi. I'll begin by reading from a letter that I wrote on behalf of Kwanzaa back in 2012. Greetings, family. Once again, we have arrived near the beginning of a new year, and celebrations abound, and they should be, for there is and has been much to be grateful for. All mature peoples have such celebrations that uplift them and serve to reconnect and strengthen their familial and communal bonds. During the 1960s movements for black human rights and dignity, some of our deep-thinking, freedom-seeking warriors realized that as Africans in the Americas and the diaspora, many of us were in fact not just victims of state-supported subjugation and chattel enslavement, but also the worshipers of our oppressors' culture. They sought ways to reverse this obstacle to liberation. One such weapon is the Black Studies curriculum. Another is the Black Liberation Theology. And yet another is a celebration known as Kwanzaa. The city of Jackson has hosted a community Kwanzaa celebration since 1990 at the Mega Edwards Community Center on 3159 Edwards Avenue. This annual event has featured many community groups, city fathers, and local, regional, and national dignitaries. The talents of soloists, dancers, martial artists, painters, poets, rappers, motivational speakers, preachers, city councilmen, elected officials, lawyers, doctors, nurses, teachers, and a host of others too large to name have been featured and participated within these local Kwanzaa celebrations over these 25, 30 years. People have been renamed, taught, and shown how to eat to live, incorporated into new families, and been informed and instructed on the latest socioeconomic and political issues of the day. Most every woe that affects the black community in a global sense and in this city of Jackson has been addressed in a solution-oriented manner here at Kwanzaa. Our issues are multivariate, but so are our participants and their spheres of knowledge. We are truly a blessed people, and Kwanzaa is a celebration that allows black people to proudly and unapologetically express and uplift this often downgraded and malnourished truth. Such spaces for self-love are rare. Most Native Americans do not celebrate Thanksgiving because they don't wish to reinforce acceptance or approval of their genocide. No sane person, as a matter of fact, or a group will continuously celebrate, rejoice over, and further ingrain their historical abnegation and defeat. From the harvest festival turned soft demon worship known as Halloween to the birth of God's Son turned hedonistic and now materialistic over-consumerism known as Christmas. We should be careful not to be confused with the insane. Kwanzaa is structured to help reduce this insanity. The Jackson Community Kwanzaa celebration is like most all other Kwanzaa celebrations in that it is a celebration of communal and family values. True knowledge seekers will find that the Nguzo Saba, which is Swahili for 7 principles, is truly a sound set of principles that are fit to be utilized as a communal moral minimum for improved relations. Movies have been made based on many good books and 40-plus years of celebrations that all serve to edify even rejected souls such as ours. To turn away from that which would heal is a crime against oneself. This is unhealthy. Broken people should not volunteer to go broke seeking love from someone else. Allow Kwanzaa to assist in repairing our cracked mirrors so that we can better know, love, and save the reflection that shines forth in our own mirrors. Smile and hug it, for the healing is long overdue. The Jackson Community Kwanzaa celebration is held annually December the 26th to January the 1st, beginning at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Medgar Evers Community Center on 3159 Edwards Avenue. Obviously, thank you for the reading. Obviously, family, as you know, this is a virtual celebration this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic and some of the ramifications that occurred. As a result, we can't meet in public to the same degree that we normally do. We can't give the hugs and share the love and eat the food and do the Harambe circle and all the other things that come along with Kwanzaa, where we put our clothes on. Some people just use it as an opportunity to dress up and put their dashiki on. That's all part of the history of Kwanzaa, too. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up that the history of Kwanzaa in the city of Jackson began very shortly after Kwanzaa began in the 1960s. And that is because after Dr. Maulana Karenga began the celebration of Kwanzaa in Los Angeles, California, it began to spread like wildfire as a result of being written about in various articles, including Ebony and Jet and the like. And as people caught on to it, it began to spread. And it got to Jackson at about the second year of its origination. Groups such as the Black and Proud School, Jackson Women for Progress, and the Malcolm X grassroots movement were already celebrating Kwanzaa prior to 1990. However, each celebration was held individually. Malcolm X grassroots movement had their celebration. Jackson Women for Progress, which is the longest-running Kwanzaa celebration in the city of Jackson, had their celebration on their own day or days, and the Black and Proud School had their celebration while they were up and running. But we were very fortunate because in 1989, 90, this young, headstrong, fiery, energetic, and conscious community activist began volunteering at the Medgar Evers Community Center. That was the person that we know today as Baba Lukata, but who then was just Brother Lukata. He had just taken on his name in a public sense. He was volunteering so much at the Medgar Evers Community Center that many people thought he worked there, but he didn't. And fortunately, he got in good with some of the people there, including William Griffin, including the brother who became a reverend and just recently deceased, with Super Nat. And as a result, the Kwanzaa celebration began going slowly. And at that time, it was a different stage of development because Brother Lakata was intelligent enough, astute enough, and energetic enough to get each group to come and participate on one day a week. And every group then had one day that they would operate from. And at that time, some of the same groups that participate even to this day began to meet, including the Jackson Women for Progress, who still have their own celebration separate from the Jackson Community Kwanzaa celebration. The Malcolm X grassroots movement, who still participate every year as an anchor organization. The Jackson Firefighters Limited had got on by that time. The Nation of Islam had got in by that time. And Jackson Advocate began to participate with Mr. Tisdale and also with Alice Tisdale. And so you had a core group of people who were participants at that time. People like Minister Frank Muhammad, Mr. Tisdale, Alice Tisdale, Brother Hollis Watkins, obviously Brother Frank Figures, Sister Angela Stewart, Sister Ada Robinson. These are just some names I'm throwing out there. Of course, we can't forget the firefighter Eddie James, and there were a host of others who were anchor participants here in the city of Jackson for the celebration that we now know as the Jackson Community Kwanzaa celebration. At that time, Brother Lakata had to do a lot of teaching because most of the people outside of the celebration had no idea what Kwanzaa was. They thought it was that black stuff or that African-ish. And so Brother Lakata was almost waging a one-man war going uphill. And he engaged a TV show that he operated on the public access channel called Harambe, which was Harambe for Reparations. And in that show, he pushed culture. He also related to politics and also related to liberation. Our sister June Hartwick had a show at the time, June Obaya, I can't remember, it was something for the people, and Renee Shakespeare had a show called The Drinking Gourd. And so different people had shows on the public access channel to help spread the word in terms of culture and black love and those things. Brother Baba Licata led the Jackson Community Kwanzaa celebration from 1990 all the way up to right about 2014. And then some of the other people who he had been working with and training decided they want to get a run at it. And he stepped down, or should I say he stepped to the side, and he allowed Sister Martha M. Samaji to come in. And she came in and did the program for 4 years, made some changes, made some adjustments. Some stuff worked, some stuff didn't work. One of the most difficult things, as I came to learn once I became the lead coordinator, was that it was like herding cats, because you couldn't get all the hosts in one room at the same time. You'd be surprised how many people who love black people in the general sense can't stand you personally, in the personal sense. They really do seriously love black people. They sacrifice their lives for black people, but they can't stand you. So they won't come sit in the room with you, and they won't meet with you, and it's hard to get certain things done in a collective sense. Well, Martha Jenkins, Sister M. Samaji, got tired of that herding cat stuff that Baba Licata had been dealing with all them years, and she decided she wanted to bow out, and then they tricked me into it. And I became the lead coordinator in 2009, and I was very grateful for the assistance of Baba Licata at that time. And we came up with such titles as Destroying Negro Mess Through Holistic Health and Wellness in 2010. In 2011, it was Humbling Ourselves Unto Ourselves to Save Ourselves. Every year I insisted on having a theme. On 2012, it was Know Thyself, to Love Thyself, to Save Ourselves. In 2013, it was Rehumbling Ourselves Unto Ourselves to Save Ourselves, because I learned that we can't accomplish the greatest levels of our divinity without humility. In 2014, our theme was Conquering Our Fear of Freedom. In 2015, it was Standing on the Shoulders of Greatness. In 2016, it was 25-year celebration of African-centered education for liberation. In 2016, it was an African-centered celebration of and for Black excellence, Black divinity, and divine personal responsibility. During the 2017 year was the year where I had some unexpected health challenges with my parents, and I had to bow out gracefully while I was setting up the gym, no less. I got a phone call from my folks and came back, and my mom had a few strokes, and I just want to say thank you to all the people who gave me wonderful support through your phone calls, through your text messages, just checking on the brother, seeing you okay. I was at a low moment at that time, and I appreciate everyone who assisted me in that way. You do not know how much your phone calls made a difference, and right now during COVID, I pray, God, that you call people that you love and care about, because Kwanzaa is a celebration for family and communal values. It's not about a specific religion. It's not about a specific hero that we worship. It's about the celebration of our divine black selves and about family and communal values, and it's the only holiday in America that's set up in that way, not only in terms of being set up for the interest of celebrating black divinity, but also around family and communal values. Every other holiday is set up around some type of religion or some type of other type of event, but it's not set up around family and communal values. That's what makes Kwanzaa special. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Nguzo Saba, which is these 7 principles in Swahili. And obviously the first night it is Umoja, which deals with unity. The second night is Kuji Chakalia, which deals with self-determination, where we name ourselves and we speak for ourselves and we do for ourselves instead of being spoken for by others, being named by others, and having other people do everything for us. When we get to our third night is collective work and responsibility, where we all pool our energy together in order to make a difference by everybody doing a little bit, and so that way it makes the load lighter. Our fourth night is It's cooperative economics and familyhood. A lot of people miss the familyhood part. Familyhood goes beyond your blood kin. It goes to your extended family that you have ideology with. And obviously, the economics is not just limited to finances. It's dealing actually with your relationships. Your fifth night is purpose, Nia, purpose. And purpose has to do with the direction, in other words, the why of what you're doing. Because having a knife or having a gun is not so bad. You can use those as tools to help or defend. But having a knife, a gun, or fire with the purpose for destruction is different than for construction. So we want to make sure that we have lives that are devoted to purpose. Our sixth night is creativity. And as C.L. McGinnis reminded us one year, it's a reason why purpose precedes creativity, because creativity without purpose is destructive. And so therefore, our purpose comes first, and then our creativity comes second. Our creativity is the method by which we express ourselves. And as you know, as black people, we are probably one of, if not the most expressive groups of people on the planet in terms of our colors, our hairstyles, our voices, our skill sets, our talents, our singing, our dancing, you name it. We own it when it comes to creativity. The things that have been created throughout this world were created by black minds, including brooms and mops and ironing boards, air conditioners, obviously the cotton gin, even your hairstyles, braiding techniques, engineering, hydroponics, skyscrapers, architecture, medicine, you name it, we invented it. That's creativity. And then our last night is faith, imani, faith. And faith is the substance in the Bible. The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. But actually, faith deals with confidence. It's about believing in yourself. And because if you do not have a belief in something that's greater than you, something within and without, something that's inside of you and also something that's outside of you, that's greater than you, not just your physical body, not just what you can see materially, there's something that's greater than you. You got to have faith in whatever that is that you can identify with. You have to have faith in that in order to move forward and press forward through the hard and difficult times. I hope that that's given you a simple thumbnail primer on the history of Kwanzaa in the city of Jackson, Mississippi. Obviously, you can go online. You can look up Dr. Maulana Karenga. There are a multitude of books. A great movie called The Black Candle, which gives you some insight on the history of Kwanzaa. But here in the city of Jackson, we have to thank Baba Lukata. We have to thank the late Chokwe Lumumba and the Malcolm X grassroots movement. We have to thank the late Minister Frank Muhammad, and Brother Hollis Watkins with the Nation of Islam. We have to thank Mr. and Sister Alice Tisdale for the work that they've done with the Jackson Advocate to promote the event. We have to thank Super Nat, who played for the Kansas City Chiefs and was teaching and working down at the Medgar Evers Community Center. We have to thank the late Willie Griffin for being a co-founder of the Jackson Community Kwanzaa Celebration with Baba Lukata, who was just Brother Lukata at that time, and who was still operating off his slave name when he needed to, before he put his program on the public access channel called Harambe for Reparations. I want to thank all of you for listening and the time that you spent. This is me, Brother D. Measy, Mr. D. Measy. I want to thank you. Please recognize that I got to celebrate my dear brother, Coach, who stepped into the gap, he and his wife, when I had to step out of town for some family-related stuff. My mom had a few strokes, and I couldn't say rightfully that I was going to be there for a celebration for family and community values and not look after my own blood family. I want to say thank you to Coach and his wife for the years that they did fill in. We appreciate you. Thanks for the other people who are carrying the ball now for the Jackson Community Kwanzaa celebration and doing it virtual. We must know thyself, to love thyself, to save ourselves. One life, one love, one enemy, one God, one aim, one destiny. Motto Tep, may we prove worthy of abundant prosperity and continue to be a blessing to others, especially those in need. And don't forget to share the love that you want to receive.